So, welcome to week 5. This week, we're going to talk about what many people consider to be the third rail of relationships, and that is conflict. So, if you think about it, this is really a course on communication because at its core, most conflict is really just poor communication. We have two ears but one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But unfortunately, what most people do is they speak twice as much as they listen, and that's how arguments happen. But the truth is, conflict itself is not bad. It's what we do with it that matters. And in fact, most successful long-term relationships have regular constructive conflict, and they use it as an opportunity to get closer. But if we're not willing to lean into it, if we're not willing to look at it, then it will always feel like a threat. And what's interesting is we're all taught in childhood how to argue. It's almost like a game that we play. And some families argue in a healthy way and others don't. Some people are taught to fight and scream and yell, and others are taught to avoid it or give in or people please. None of those are very useful in adulthood. And so this week we gonna look at what most people do when they fight and what most people do when they trying to repair after a fight. And you're gonna see how both of those patterns affect your nervous system. And you're gonna learn how to do something different, how to engage with each other in a whole new way. In my work with couples, I often hear one partner say, "I never want to fight," and the other partner will say, "That's all you ever do is fight." So clearly, we need to have a different relationship with conflict. We've already talked about 3 important skills: self-awareness, empathy, and self-regulation. Now we're going to add a 4th skill, which is how to engage in healthy dialogue and repair. The truth is, conflict is inevitable. There will always be differences of opinion, and that's a good thing. Disagreements actually create an opportunity to grow closer. They force us to see the other person as point of view and to understand their needs and desires. When managed consciously, conflict becomes one of the greatest challenges in love, also one of the greatest opportunities. Every disagreement hides a longing to be heard, to be respected, to be valued. And when we shift from blame to curiosity, from defense to openness, we discover the deeper needs beneath the fight. And that's what we're going to explore this week. Most of the couples that I work with fight for a variety of reasons. Often there's something unspoken in the relationship that's been building up and hasn't been addressed. Or sometimes there's a trigger, a sore spot that gets activated by something external. Whatever the reason, when conflict arises, it's easy to get sucked into old patterns of blame and shame, attack and defend, right? That's what most of us do. And none of those are productive. So this week you're going to learn 4 patterns that typically emerge in any argument. You'll learn how to use structured dialogue to take the lead out of conflict and put the relationship first. You'll practice repair rituals that help you make amends and move forward together. And you learn calming techniques that help you de-escalate any argument before it lands in a place of shame and blame. You know, most people think of arguments as a battle to be won, but that's not true. Arguments aren't battles. They're opportunities to grow closer. They're invitations to discover unmet needs and hidden longings. In fact, I believe that every argument contains a golden nugget of truth, and this week we're going to help you find yours. The truth is, conflict is inevitable. The only question is, are you going to fight for a lifetime of distance or for a lifetime of closeness? Are you going to keep fighting the same old fights, or are you ready to learn how to use conflict to create the love you've always wanted? Because here's the truth, conflict is not the end of love. It can be the way love grows stronger. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the videos, do the exercises. And remember, no matter what happens, I choose you.